Well, good day, friends. I hope you're all doing well. I'm Franky. This is Mekci.
Hello.
And this is the Think Tank. So, being that it is What the Hell Wednesday, Mekci and I thought we would talk about a couple different cases. We've got Athena Brownfield, who is missing, a little bit happening in the Delphi case. Brian Kohlberg, of course. And was there anybody else, Mekci?
Ana Walshe.
Ana Walshe. So, yeah, a lot to cover, really. Let's see here.
So, firstly, Athena, do you have the missing poster of her?
Let me see here. I'm sure.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay.
Athena.
Oh, okay. I can
share my screen.
Sure. There we go.
But guys, this is Athena. She's been missing. She was reported missing yesterday on the 10th. She's from Cyril, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Oklahoma. It's Cyril. She's only like 4 years old. Her and her sister were actually both in a weird situation. There's not a lot of details coming out quite yet, but it is possible that Athena might have actually been missing prior to her being reported missing. So it's a weird situation. Luckily, somebody actually found her older sister, and that's how the report was filed of Athena missing. So
where was the other sister found?
I believe she might have been like kind of really close to home, maybe out like on the corner. It was the post, like the mail delivery person. I believe it was a woman, so I can't say postman, so postwoman.
Okay.
Was the one that encountered her. Her older sister, who's 5, did say something about being hungry. So who knows how long she had been hungry, to be honest. I'm not really sure, but that's where the report came in. The initial report was an unattended child.
Okay.
Out in public, out in the corner, on the street, wherever. And that's how they found out about Athena.
Okay. And it says that she is a missing 4-year-old girl that was reported Tuesday afternoon. Blonde hair and was last seen wearing a butterfly hoodie. So it says the State Bureau of Investigations originally said she is 3, but she is 4. And the investigation into Athena's disappearance started around 2 p.m. Tuesday after a mail carrier found the unattended 5-year-old girl. Wow. So they're saying the sister was near the home on the 200 block of West Nebraska. Uh-oh.
No.
Hey, Dandy. Clifton, great to see you.
Let's take an extra close zoom in.
Map mania. You're so damn good with your maps.
I just kind of like charted this one earlier because I kind of wanted to know where this was at. Cyril.
Look how tiny it is.
It's barren, you know? But if this is the block, can I go here? Yay. I'm
Oh, look at that.
Small town vibe.
I'll say.
I don't know. There's just so many possibilities with her because we really don't know if she went missing shortly before that report at 2 p.m.
Right.
or if it was somewhere between those 4 days or if it was prior to that.
Wow. So near their home in the 200 block of West Nebraska in Cyril. Says they are putting to work an exact timeline together of when Athena was last seen. Well, in a little tiny spot like that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Postal carrier located the 5-year-old and contacted the police department. And then we got involved later that night. Then, of course, all of our law enforcement partners have joined us. So they are saying they're learning that Athena went missing Tuesday afternoon. Law enforcement helped deploy infrared helicopters and conducted grid searches on foot with the help of volunteers using 4-wheelers. They have utilized boats on the small ponds. They have a specialty team trained to go on foot in search of people and things and are out in coordination with civilians who have come and wanted to volunteer their time and effort. So another one with no Amber Alert. Does that sound right, Mekci?
No, it doesn't actually sound right. No, but
Yeah, you heard that as well, though?
I think maybe that if there isn't, because if there isn't an Amber Alert, it's probably because they don't actually know. They have no information to put out, and that's what they'll claim, right?
Right.
They'll claim like, oh, we don't have a car or description of a car, whatever, so we can't really say that she was abducted.
Right.
But you
Oh
can
my
at least put out the
God.
picture, put out the alert. It still should go out.
Right.
And I did put a change.org petition on Discord, which is for the Amber Alert and changing it. So
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, there we go.
That's her. If you guys want to share this anywhere you can.
Absolutely.
This picture is on Discord under missing children. So just share it. I think the more people know, the better. And I hate to even like bring this up, but Oklahoma, Cyril, she's like a hop and a skip away, away from being on Interstate 44, which leads you pretty much anywhere. And then that connects to 70, and Interstate 70 is known as the trafficking interstate. And I don't want to think that that's what happened, but I'm just saying, like, you should really go out everywhere, like every state. The more people that know, the better.
Absolutely. Oh my word. I think I'm okay for a second here. Come on, ladies. Nope.
What? No, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, exactly. Now I've heard that one corridor straight through there is the worst in the area. Is that the case?
It's pretty bad.
Now, is that the
Giving
same
us
one that would go through kind of like Tennessee eventually and all of those
St.
spots?
Louis.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can actually try to follow it here really quick because it's
Okay.
quite shocking. So here's Cyril. And all you have to do is kind of hop on 277. You'll hit 44 maybe an hour and a half later, if that.
Is there any way we can make that a little bit bigger?
Of course.
Yay,
Ask me, you
Mekci.
shall receive. So here's 44. And it will go through Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Come on a little bit. Here's Oklahoma City coming up. But then you can either take 40, which you can see that goes west and east.
Right.
But 44 will also attach you to a whole bunch of other things. Here's Tulsa, for example, which can
So it's
lead
almost
you.
like a hub.
Yes. Like as soon as you hit that 40, 44, 70, Interstate 70, these roads go across country and then just like easily take you anywhere you
I'm
want to
2 miles from I-70. Oh, wow. Trafficking is very real.
go.
That's scary, isn't it, Dandy? Like, oh my God.
Here's St. Louis, 70.
Okay. Okay.
You can follow 70, 44, 40. These interstates will take you anywhere.
Seriously. Okay.
Mhm.
See, Canada's basically got the one that goes straight across. And it is Highway 1, and it will start whichever side you're on, east or west, and you can stay on that and just keep driving and keep driving. And from that Highway 1 is where you will jump off to the different areas you want to go to.
Mm-hmm. It's not
Wow.
it's not a pretty spot. Like it's not a
Right. So it is saying in here that just, exactly what we were talking about, that she doesn't fit in the specific guidelines required. I find this so frustrating. Like they have to come up with, and I say this pretty much every time this kind of thing comes up, they need to find something that covers just missing children.
Yeah. Why not put out the alert? You have their picture, obviously. Just put that out. Put out the description. Like that's not gonna hurt
Exactly.
anyone. Like
Yeah. Yeah. A missing and endangered person alert went out Tuesday to people in a 15-mile radius.
nice.
Like oh my God. Yeah. Get that word out.
Yeah, because you should have put it out further.
Oh, 15-mile radius. Like what
For a
the
small
hell
town
is
like this,
that?
yeah, for a small town like this, you're literally giving the alert in the town.
Basically.
That's what you're doing. Like
15-mile radius. Wow. This cop, Foster, said that information was also put on social media so people in the media could get the information out to more people. Well, that's good of them. Wow. It was done in a very efficient way by guidelines, and there are reasons for those guidelines that the Department of Justice puts out those guidelines to help us kind of put that together. Exactly. Kind of. So Cyril is a town located in Caddo County that is a little more than an hour's drive southwest of Oklahoma City. So it says, what else do we still not know? An exact timeline of when Athena went missing. That's scary shit.
yeah.
Where Athena's parents are. Scary shit. When asked where Athena's parents are, Albertman said that's part of an ongoing investigation. So they're missing too?
No, they're not missing.
But have they taken off?
No, I can't say that either, but they're not necessarily missing because the
Okay.
children weren't in their care to begin with.
So it says, does law enforcement suspect foul play? Another question. And if so, are there any suspects? Wow. Unreal.
Yeah. This
I've got a
one is
couple.
tough because we don't really know when, and law enforcement's already behind on the chase, the case, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the one person that would know a lot of information is probably her sister, who
Right.
you don't want to really ask
So
too many
Dan,
questions off. I guess
oh my God. So fentanyl is a real thing with our children. So, Narcan is being issued to our schools. So I know that it is a problem in Canada as well. Even the small towns. I think I've mentioned this before about um, losing a young girl that we cared about to fentanyl overdose here a few months ago. But she was about 20. So now, to me, that's young. But now we're talking about children.
Yeah.
She was a young adult that, I mean, you never know. I have no idea when she started messing with this kind of thing. It's like Russian roulette. Dandy, so who were they in custody of?
I don't know if it was a relative. I know the name of
Mm-hmm.
who they were supposed to be in the custody of. It's in Discord. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Discord, and her name's Alyssa. I'll just say her first
We
name,
should,
but she
we should,
actually wasn't in town. That's who is supposed to be in care of the kids, Athena and her older sister, who they found unattended. She's supposed to be in care of them, and she was not in Cyril. She was in she was in Oklahoma City.
wow.
And her husband, I believe, sorry, her husband, I think, was like in a different state. And it doesn't, no one has said if the kids were supposed to be in the care of someone else,
Okay.
like a family member of theirs or actual biological family member,
Mm-hmm.
a neighbor. It doesn't say, it just, but I don't think if they were even in someone's care, they obviously weren't really looking
Being
after
cared
them
for.
because they found the 5-year-old unattended and starving
Oh my
on the
God.
street. So
Unreal. Wonder what the population is here. Like okay, there's the ponds they were talking about. Yeah, it just seems to me like
it's a
somebody,
small little place.
oh, look at that.
But I mean, her and her sister weren't far in age, so if they
No,
were
not at all.
outside together in like close proximity of each other,
Mm-hmm.
you would think that maybe like a predator or whatnot would just take both of them, right?
You'd
They're
think
like
so,
they're
yeah.
1 year apart from each other.
So the 5-year-old, is she in custody of those parents right now?
No.
So the little girl is safe.
Yeah, I mean, she is
Okay.
with the state, like the law enforcement took her, and then I'm pretty sure they probably put her with like CPS or something. I mean, she's as
Okay.
safe as she could be. She's better off there than she was earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to maybe take a peek at that later.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm just going to look up population.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Keep my eye on it, right? Keep my eyes on it.
874
Yeah.
as of
Wow.
2021.
Hi, James.
I'd start doing door to door. Just be like, excuse me, where were you?
Oh,
874.
exactly.
We could
Yeah.
divide this up. We could do it. Like,
Oh, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Usually in these little towns like that, the neighbors know if that parent is neglectful. They know absolutely everything in
yeah, of
these little
course.
tiny towns.
I like to call those
So,
nosettas, but sometimes nosettas
right?
are really good. They're beneficial.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, guys, yeah, maybe we can push that out on social media a little bit more. I think this is in Discord, right? This missing poster?
Yes, it's in the channel, Missing Children channel.
Missing. Okay. I'll definitely put it out on my socials. So we also have, we've got tomorrow, we have the judges going to hear arguments on a bunch of different issues with the Delphi case. So it doesn't sound like there's going to be, it doesn't sound like there's going to be a stream, but it does sound like there's possibly cameras in the area.
Yeah, it'll definitely
Or
be
in the area, in the
immediately
court.
after, for sure.
Let's take a quick look here. So it says a special judge will handle multiple issues this week regarding the Delphi case. The hearing is set for Friday, January 13th. Judge Fran Gull was initially set to hear the arguments on a change of venue and then a gag order in the case against Richard Allen. Allen's defense attorney requested a change of venue away from Carroll County because the high-profile nature of these unalivings. A temporary gag order has been in effect since December. Gull could institute a gag order barring anyone from talking about the case until it goes to trial. Well, I don't think it could hurt, as much as it would be nice to know what's going on.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? But there's so many different different tentacles to this particular case that it's probably best that they do keep as much as they can to themselves. I just wanted to see. Here is Abby and Libby. The court will hear arguments regarding requests made by Allen's defense counsel. According to a court order filed Monday on December 30th, defense lawyers filed a discovery request asking for a cavalcade of information, including the names and addresses of potential witnesses the state may call. Gull will also be holding a hearing on Allen's attorney's request to fund additional investigators. So, yeah, that's right. I forgot that he was wanting extra funds from the government to help him with his case. And I think they approved that already, didn't they?
February, I believe was the date on that, right? To do the motion for that? Or the hearing for that?
Yeah. Was it February? Oh, shit. Is that? I got it in my... Let me take a peek. February 17th. It's awfully close to the anniversary, the 6th anniversary of their unalivings. So, yeah, that is what's happening tomorrow. So we'll make sure and bring any kind of...
Friday.
Oh, tomorrow's not Friday. I have my days so messed up this week. Friday. Tomorrow is who? Tomorrow is Brian. And again, we probably won't be hearing too much
Right.
I don't
They
think
did say
from
they were going to allow cameras in there, but I don't know if they mean like video or I'm sure there'll be video, but we're not going to see it like in the moment.
Right.
It'll be after for sure.
So let's see here. Maybe I'll burst up.
They haven't been reporting a lot about the Delphi case or Richard Allen, or it's been kind of quiet.
It has been. It has been. Okay, so for Brian, Idaho, unaliving's veteran defense attorney lays out case Brian Kohlberg's team could make holes in affidavit. So let's see here. Okay. Oh, why is it saying it's not currently available in my... Let's try this again.
You can make a little bit to near from these words really are. They will pay, and we said before when the
This guy's like technoing, like it's super in and out.
Paul Morrow has been following the case from the beginning, and he's been on the ground in Idaho. He is a former New York police inspector and a lawyer. Thank you for joining us, Paul. DNA is great, but you still need someone to. How did the police identify and develop a suspect? So that's actually...
So this is really, really interesting because they started with their DNA in one direction, and it's just opened up a whole different, I don't know, a bunch of different avenues, I guess.
Actually, a very interesting aspect of this case, because as all of us heard early on, there was this reporting that they had done a genealogical database ping to see if the DNA from the knife sheath that you referenced comes back to somebody, and it came back to a relative, his father. Problem there is that the genealogical databases are not considered, at least by the genealogical companies, up to the evidentiary standards. They don't actually...
Boom!
damages their business model.
Hold on, pause.
Because what they did was they...
Okay.
Because this is what I've been... I asked this question the other day. So guys, I actually work in the DNA field. So I kind of know a little bit about it, and I am a huge, huge hater. My personal opinion, but I'm a huge hater on these public websites like that do that ancestry and genealogy. I don't know. But none of them are accredited. And to be accredited, you need to be ABB accredited as well as ISO accredited.
Okay.
A whole bunch of fancy terms, but you can look it up. And I wondered, I was like, okay, so with like the Golden State Killer, for instance, and I think they did it with another one. They sent in the DNA sample, the police, what they had, the DNA sample that they had, to this public website. So I had a lot of questions. I was like, what are they telling the public website? What name are they putting on it? Like, did you literally put Golden State Killer sample on there? Or did you do a John Doe? Like, what did you put on there? Because either way, that's sketchy. And a really good defense attorney will argue this all day, every day.
Okay.
They're not accredited. So you can't necessarily take that to court. And I understand that eventually what they end up doing is getting the sample from their trash or from them directly. But how do you know you didn't come? Now I can just question everything after that. I'd be like, well, how do I know that you actually sent an actual sample from that crime? And it wasn't just something that you just picked out of nowhere. How do I know it was that one? How do I know that you didn't tell the company something they shouldn't have known? You're giving away privileged information, and maybe you have now like a bias person on the inside, right? Who's just like, oh my God, the Golden State Killer, we need to solve this. And they just like, I'm not saying that they do, but
but it does leave room for
argument. Like,
as anything, if you're not accredited.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I need surgery, but I'm going to go to that non-accredited surgeon.
Right. Yeah.
Because he says he's done this
out of his backyard. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that makes total sense. And hopefully they would be using their needles.
But
right?
A defense attorney would, you would have
still
an
be
argument
able to get it
because
absolutely.
You would still need to get the physical direct sample from your suspect physically.
Right.
Like you either need a court order, and you're going to need a court order actually to get that, rather than digging through the trash, which that trash could be anybody's.
Exactly.
At this point, just because you got it from their trash.
Right.
But once you bring this up and you say like, oh yeah, we sent it to a public website and this is what we got back, you can have those charges thrown out and you will never get that court order to get his DNA sample.
That makes sense. Yeah. Very good question. I'm glad that you know a lot of this stuff, because the average person, I mean, I definitely wouldn't have any idea as to, I wouldn't even think about how'd you do that and why did you do that, and then all the questions that could follow.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to answer these questions like on a daily basis. Like, well, why should we use you? Like, why would it work with you guys? Is this going to hold up? Like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes total sense. Let's see what else they got here.
You just use that as a clue. They knew that, okay, this is pointing at somebody, it looks like very strong evidence, but we have to parallel that. We're going to go get that in a stronger, better way. And so that became the focus of the investigation very clearly. And that's why the case came down when and how it did. If you look at the end of the affidavit, they collect the garbage DNA.
So do you think that he's sitting here trying to figure out, I mean, he's doing as he's supposed to in a court, giving those brief answers and, you know, but do you think as he's doing this, his brain is running as to how he can beat this stuff?
I'm not so sure anymore.
Okay.
Because, I mean, they wanted to paint him as, or he is being painted as, like, educated.
Right.
And I think maybe if he's any sort of regular person, like,
yeah,
there's probably a lot of things going through his mind at that moment. I know I'd be going crazy.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know about him. He seems a little too collected. Like,
he's definitely aware, isn't he?
Yeah,
I was watching him listen to the judge, and he's very aware of every single word and how it's being said, in my opinion. He's zeroed right in on her right now.
He's very cool, calm, and collected, I guess would be what I see when he was answering those questions, where he was like, yes, like,
yeah.
You would get a quivering yes from me. Like if I was
right. Yeah. Oh my God. So, James, I'm curious. Let me know your guys' take on this insanity plea, because when he was wanting to get extradited and that judge was asking him all of those questions on his mental abilities, awareness, whether or not there's anything in his past, as far as mental illness. And he's like, nope, totally aware. So what does that do to an insanity plea? Did they intentionally throw a glitch into that?
No. Because that Pennsylvania court appearance actually meant nothing, because he needed to get extradited. He couldn't have gone through like the one he just went now for like a bail hearing or get the evidence or preliminary trial hearing without being extradited first.
Okay, I think
No, James, I'm not questioning the DNA whatsoever. Not in this case, because what I just talked about, what I just explained, they didn't even do what they did was get the DNA from the sheath and then get the trash out of the Koberger family home, which the trash actually belonged to his dad. Or I don't know if it did, but all I know from the probable cause is that the DNA that's on the sheath and the trash that they got are father and child. That's all I know. Who that is, I have no idea.
Right. Okay.
But I'm sure like by now they probably got a warrant to get Brian's DNA.
Yeah,
physically, so
yeah, I've seen that somewhere, and that they collected that, but I'm not 100% sure where. So, Sunshine, a student of criminology, seems to me he would be the type to think he committed the perfect. And that's the thing. Sunshine, I agree with you at like 1,000%. I think that this guy is beyond cocky and just thinks that he has this every different angle he's got figured out in his own little twisted brain there. That's my opinion. Works against him. Oh, that's right. Mental issues. No mental issues can be used in Idaho. Yeah, they can just basically I'm gonna have to excuse me here.
why? Do we know the answer to that question?
No, but she's right. I just can't remember
I'm gonna look it up.
how they phrased it. Yeah. Well, you're looking that up. I'll watch this a little bit.
DNA on the 28th. They have it matched on the 29th. They must have turned around right that day and said, Mr. Prosecutor, write that arrest warrant, and the case comes down on the 30th.
All right, surveillance cameras, cell phone towers. I mean, I love reading that affidavit. I mean, it's fascinating to me. But for folks who haven't had a chance to read it, how did that play a role in this investigation?
Well, you and I discussed this at an earlier time, Trey, that they were going to be using a lot of this digital stuff, but it takes a lot of effort and time. That's one of the things I think frustrated the public. So what they would do in this case is it takes a couple of rounds of search warrants. You're going to be dumping the phone towers, the cell towers, to see what cell phones are active in that area. They actually didn't get to that until after they had done the car. The early forensics were actually the video. And, there are two unsung heroes in this affidavit that aren't getting a lot of attention. But the first thing that I see in that affidavit that really began to point to the suspect is the fact that two WSU, Washington State University campus police, took the initiative after they received on the 25th, November 25th, the BOLO, be on the lookout for the white Elantra. One of them made a database check. One of them just physically went out looking in the middle of the night. Both of them hit on Kohlberger's car. And so that was pretty fast, and that was an early indication of where they were going. From there, they realized, okay, we got something. They did the search warrants on the phone pings. They were able to track what he'd been doing. We see that he had been doing some version of stalking either the girls or the house. And
wow. What did you find something there, Mekci?
Yeah, I'm actually reading the law code on it, which is a bunch of legal jargon that I don't really understand.
Oh, can they still test for COVID? If so, bam, DNA. Boom. But they can be mentally unfit for trial. That's right, Lifton. That's how I heard it.
Yeah, that's what the only thing I've understood so far is that a jury can find you guilty by insanity. The jury can, but you can't use that as a defense. But the jury can find you that
Well,
way.
this is what's happening in the Michael Vaughn case right now, also out of Idaho, is she is sitting in a mental institution right now because she was not fit for trial. So until she is fit for trial, she's going to sit in there. And once she's deemed okay for trial, then they will charge her and carry on with that case. But right now, yeah, she's sitting in an institution.
I totally believe she's acting crazy.
She could, yeah.
Some people are good at that.
So, James, I think he's waiting to see evidence against him and then look for his best option to avoid the death penalty. So I'm wondering, do you think that they might take the death penalty off of?
Oh God, they better not.
Just to get information?
No. If they have him dead to rights right now, which
you don't think they'd have him plead? No.
If prosecution really showed their entire hand and everything they have is what's on the probable cause, then he can get away with it.
Okay.
Or he can get himself out of that. If everything they have is on the probable cause, but I don't think that's everything they have. They have to have more. I hope they have more.
Mental condition is not a defense. Provision for treatment during incarceration, reception of evidence notice, and appointment of expert examiner. Mental condition shall not be a defense to any charge of criminal conduct. So this is Idaho. Yeah, this is the Idaho statutes from the legislature. So let's see here. Maybe I'll bring that up. Take a boo. Oh, that's on your side.
Oh yeah, well I have it. I was reading it. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
So I can show you if you want to read it.
I can either way. I can.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not good at reading legal jargon.
And that's too small for me to see.
Oh, well, you have it on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can read it from your side. I'll just show it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So Title 18, Crime and Punishments, Chapter 2, Persons Liable, Principals, and Accessories. 18-207, mental condition, not a defense, provision for treatment during incarceration, reception of evidence, notice and appointment of expert examinators. 1, mental condition shall not be a defense to any charge of criminal conduct. 2, if by the provision of section 19-2523 Idaho Code, the courts find that one convicted of crime suffers from any mental condition requiring treatment, such person shall be committed to the Board of Corrections or such city or county officials as provided by law for placement in the appropriate facility for treatment, having regard for such conditions of security as the case may require. In the event of a sentence of incarceration has been imposed, the defendant shall receive treatment in a facility which provides for incarceration or less restrictive confinement. In the event that a course of treatment thus commenced shall be concluded prior to the expiration of the sentence imposed, the offender shall remain liable for the remainder of such sentence, but shall have credit for the time incarcerated for the treatment. So that's just basically saying that if they are charged and convicted, that
they'll get you the help. They'll get you help. Oh, once you're good, you coming back, bro.
Exactly.
I think that pretty much explains it all. Like, you can't use it as a defense. The jury can find you guilty of insanity, but if they do, you're gonna get the treatment and you coming right back. Yeah. So it's gonna be under their rule, their jurisdiction, where they want to send you. That makes sense. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's totally
absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's wow. Yeah. I'm really impressed.
Absolutely.
I did not know that was a thing. That's cool. I like that. To be honest, I kind of like that.
Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, that basically answers that question. I didn't, no need really for, I didn't go through the rest.
Yeah. The first one said it all. So.
Right? Yeah. There's our answer. Sovereign citizen, my lord. Right? So the other person that we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about is Ana Walshe.
Mm-hmm.
Another very sad situation. Let's see here.
Which coincides with What the Hell Wednesdays, because
it sure does.
This dude. Try to explain this. I don't even know. I don't even know how you would try to explain this in court. He literally Google searched how to get rid of a certain weight.
Yeah. How do you dispose of someone who's 5 foot to 115 pound person? How do you dispose? He Googled this shit. I'll put it up.
What's wrong with society? We have no more common sense, like as a whole. And I'm talking about everything. Guys, come on. We need to do better.
Oh my God, right? So, okay, I've got something I can bring up.
Yeah,
or did you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Find out.
I will take a peek at her case. This is sad. I just decided to pull this one up just to it kind of brings it to reality, right? Please, Mama, come tomorrow. Ana Walshe reportedly begged her mother to visit before she disappeared. Oh, like things were not going good in this household. A week before she mysteriously vanished, Ana Walshe reportedly begged her mother in a text message to come visit her in Massachusetts from the mom's home country in Serbia. Speaking with Fox News Digital outside her Belgrade, Serbia apartment on Monday, Milanka Lubakic, not good with my Syrian or Serbian, recalled the last text conversation she had with her missing 39-year-old daughter. She just said, "Please, Mama, come home." Well, which means that clearly there must have been some problems. Come tomorrow. Her mom said during a text message that exchanged, habla. Okay, said during the text exchange that occurred December 25th, Walshe was pleading for her mother to meet her in Washington, D.C., where she worked as a real estate executive. Walshe did not disclose a reason for the urgency. Her mother said, "I can't get myself together in one day. I'm 69 years old. I have to get my medications and 1,000 other things." Instead, she proposed she fly out the following day instead. "And now I can't forgive myself for not just letting things fall where they may and just go, and whatever happens to me happens," the grieving mother told the outlet. Oh my. "You don't have to come in January. Brian and I are making plans for February." Days later, around midnight, December 31st, Walshe made a final attempt to reach loved ones in Serbia. "She called again at 1 a.m. and I missed that call too," her mother said. She called her older sister who was asleep. She tried to call her maid of honor who didn't hear the phone. Oh my, all these different ways she tried to contact people saying she was in trouble, I'm assuming. They're saying that she was last seen during the early mornings of January 1st at Cohasset, Massachusetts, in the home she shares with her husband, Brian Walshe, and her 3 kids. Both Brian and her employer reported her missing January 4th. So what the hell is that? Why is it taking him 4 days?
I think he's making up a lie in between then too, right? Wasn't he trying to say that his wife was in DC or
Yes.
and was
Yeah.
going to be catching a flight or something, but then wasn't on any of those flights?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It says on Sunday, Brian, 47, was arrested after he was charged with misleading the police investigation into the search for his missing wife. Authorities announced he pled not guilty. On Tuesday, investigators revealed they recovered a hacksaw, a hatchet, a rug, and a garbage bag with red stuff all over it, believed to be connected to Walshe's disappearance during the search of a Peabody, Massachusetts trash site. So is this another dump? Unreal. In the couple's basement, investigators found a bloody knife. How do you say some of these things technically for YouTube? It's like, oh my God.
Knife.
Pronounce it's like, oh my God. Prosecutors announced during Brian's Monday court hearing he was also accused of visiting a Home Depot to purchase $450 worth of cleaning products, including mops and tarps, after Walshe allegedly vanished. The investigation remains ongoing. Brian is due back in court on February 9th. I'll make note of that, February 9th. So what do you think of this guy?
I don't really know a whole bunch about this case, but I've seen a few pictures of this dude.
Yeah.
He don't look like he's on the up and up.
Absolutely not. No, I couldn't agree more. He is, he's kind of a freak. He seems another one that's extremely arrogant and not very,
Seems kind of possessive of his wife. A couple of things I do know about him is he has a company. He owns his own company.
Is that the one that has never made a dime?
But the records don't seem to show.
Yeah.
anything good from it. And then his father was pretty wealthy, and I think he ripped off his father after his father died because he didn't leave him in the will.
Oh,
So
right. And this the one in war, wasn't he? He was in war because he ended up. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. What have we got here? I think I'm going to jump off here. And
to maybe bring charges against him.
Of all the reported evidence so far, the one that stands out the most to me is this online search for how to deal with a 115-pound woman's body. What stands out to you, TJ?
I mean, that's a little bizarre, going online and looking at how to get rid of a body, and that's just a little bizarre. And I think they'll.
so, did you guys see all this, or was it what was happening there?
it was loading forever. And then I just caught the end of that. Yeah.
I'll start it over.
We'll use that later on down the road.
Let us bring in TJ Ward, a private investigator who worked on the Natalie Holloway disappearance in Aruba in 2005. TJ, look, you don't have to be a sleuth to realize that all signs really are pointing to the husband here. How do investigators get this abundance of evidence across the finish line?
Good morning. One of the things that people don't think about is they keep their cell phone with them, and tracking cell phone data and triangulation logs is one of the biggest things that you can do to follow somebody, and they probably need it.
So look at that guy. Just
smiling?
Oh, right? What the hell is that? Unreal. The arrogance of this man.
Follow his triangulation logs along with the
check this out.
Triangulation logs is one of the biggest things that you can do to
looking pretty proud of himself.
Follow somebody, and they probably need to follow his triangulation logs along with the wife and see where the last tower was hitting or where the last place she might have been, and this may give them some additional evidence to maybe bring charges against him.
Of all the reported evidence so far, the one that stands out the most to me is this online search for how to deal with a 115-pound woman's body.
God.
What stands out?
So that's what we were talking about there, hey? Like,
what an idiot.
Oh my God. Unreal.
I'm laughing because it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, really?
Oh. James.
Why did you Google search like how to make things work out with my wife? Like,
oh my God.
That was your Google search, really? Like,
right?
So specific.
To you, TJ.
Oh.
I mean, that's a little bizarre, going online and looking at how to get rid of a body, and that's just a little bizarre. And I think they'll use that later on down the road, trying to prosecute him.
Always in these cases, the question, once we get reports.
Like, there really are a lot of stupid ass criminals out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brian Kohlberger, like another dumbass. The ones that are, being looked at for monkey. More dumbasses. It's just like, what the hell?
Of the evidence so far. It's like, what's the motive? Why did this individual do this? So in your experience, why would a husband potentially kill his wife like this? Again, we're not accusing him. Obviously, the accusations came from the courts, and up to this point, he has not been accused of the murder. But that said, why would somebody do this?
Somebody else in his life, money, insurance. There's a whole lot of avenues that they know to look at to start investigating him, to see what his plans were. And it may be money motivated. It may be somebody else that.
For her to have contacted her mother, she must have been scared, like terrified, scared.
That would be like the final straw for me. Like if I actually contacted my family.
Yeah.
Like that would be, it's really bad. Like something really bad is happening. Like
yeah. And for her to say, like, come today, like, I need you from not a close area.
Yeah.
It's not like it's an hour's trip, but oh my God.
That's in his life, or somebody he found that may have been in her life. So there's a whole lot of different scenarios here that the police need to look at.
Do you think her disappearance is tied in any way to Brian's conviction of fraud charges for selling those Andy Warhol paintings that weren't really Andy Warhol's? Again.
Okay, Andy Warhol's, yes.
Of course it is, because they were probably fake. And
absolutely.
He knew he was going to get caught. He needed his wife's money because she did make, that girl was rolling.
She did well for herself.
Yes, very much so. So life insurance, like that guy said, all the things that guy said were on point. Like this is one reason. And especially if he's been charged with fraud.
Yeah.
He's desperate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And authorities have said there wasn't a connection there, but what do you think?
Well, he's a fraudster, and apparently he knows what he's doing as a criminal, and being able to cover up and things. I'm real surprised yesterday looking at him come out of court and the smirk on his face just was really surprising. And, how he's talking about how he's going to get away with what he's going to do. That's what it looks like on his
Sure
face.
Does.
If, in fact, the husband committed this horrific crime, why would he do such a poor job covering it up? We've got a bloody knife. We've got $450 worth of cleaning supplies purchased in close proximity to when she disappeared. We have these online searches. You mentioned the 115 pounds, but how to dismember a body. That's not something that you and I are Googling on a day in and day out basis. And of course, the DNA on the vehicle. Why would somebody do such a haphazard job covering their tracks?
Well, he's obviously not experienced in what he's doing, and he's taken but his motivation. And what is his motivation? Maybe he disposed of the body somewhere else, or did what he said he was going to do from his search on the computers. Maybe he did it somewhere else. So it's a matter of just putting the puzzle together and gathering information. The DNA, the triangulation logs, all this, and maybe there's cameras somewhere outside in somebody else's house, a door camera or something that may lead them with information they don't have right now.
Obviously, we're all intrigued by this case. We want answers as to what happened, but we must remember there are 3 children that can't find their mom this morning, and they need to be prayed for because that is a tragedy. TJ Ward, thank you very much.
That's those kids, man, they just lost both their parents. Like, life will never be the same for them.
Art fraudster husband. Let's see here. I'm just curious if I know I had one page that it showed all of the different art that he was accused of selling, and it was pretty extensive.
On what was it? eBay.
Right?
Hey guys, I have a one of a kind
It's
Andy
true,
Warhol.
though.
Come find me
It's
on
true. He
eBay.
was. It's true. Yes. Yeah, come find me on eBay. Yeah, and he was saying that yeah, I think as an art dealer.
Right.
Well, yeah, because selling your shit on eBay does not make you a dealer. Like, unreal. I do believe there's degrees and right?
I'm seriously dying over here, just like this guy. That question from that news reporter was so dumb. He was like, "What? Why do you think he left the evidence everywhere?" Did this.
Right.
Seriously.
Oh my God. So during the search, they found a series of cutting instruments. Hacksaw, a hatchet. Oh my God. Here we go again. Everything from small and pointy to big and pointy. It's like, what the hell? He pled not guilty, and he's being held on $500,000 bail.
He still had the receipt for all of those materials in his pocket when he was arrested. 100%. No, I mean, I don't know if that's true, but like from all the other things that this dude did, I wouldn't be surprised if he had the receipt for.
Oh, neither would I. No, neither would I. No, absolutely not.
Put them on credit, like just charge it. Like
the investigation Monday led authorities to a trash site in Peabody, Mass, citing unnamed sources. Both stations report investigators discovered the hatchet, hacksaw, rug, a garbage bag with stuff on it that is all believed to be connected to Anna's disappearance. Reports human tissue was also discovered during the search.
Oh my God, James, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm terrible with names, but I know exactly what you're talking about. This dude would get people that he would know, and he'd be like, "Hey, you want to come do some work on my property?" And
yes.
He would lock the woman in freaking what are those called? The storage containers, the ones that they ship them on ships. Those big.
Yeah, the big,
like the ones the trailers haul, like just the container itself, right?
Yep.
And he would just lock them in there for until he got what he wanted or was done. I don't know.
Like the Atco shacks. I don't know if you guys have Atco out there, but that's. Oh, I understand what you're saying. Anyways, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he was writing reviews on Amazon, and he was like, "Yeah, this knife is really good to keep in like your trunk for when you want it." It was so creepy. It was creepy, and this guy was fucked up. He was messed up. This dude was.
Oh my God.
Not right.
What people will not do. You know, have you ever looked up as far as the Iceman?
From the mafia?
Kuklinski.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Have you looked up on him at all?
Like I don't know. I mean, I know of him. I don't know like his
much about him.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, he's another one that's just kind of very interesting. I should throw him into Discord as well.
Mm-hmm.
Adult beveraging. I like that. And I've been in and out smoking. Oh, you have to leave the house?
Right, that sucks.
He isn't into true crime on YouTube. We all have the tricks. Oh my goodness.
That obviously, like this guy and Walsh's husband, you can kind of see that was like a spur of the moment
Yeah.
thing. Like he did what he did, and then he thought about the process after, like obviously, because he just murdered his wife. So he's like, oh, I gotta go to the store, gotta do this and that. Like, but you can tell it was like completely just
oh, look at his attitude. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
that's
man.
yeah, that there is
Well, exactly, Dandy. No one sells a $200,000 painting for $80K or whatever it was negotiated for.
on
Oh
Etsy.
my word. Oh,
Come to my Etsy shop.
oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up, James. There is a Cheerios unaliver that was writing reviews on Amazon, like a good shovel, but not good for going 6 feet deep. Yeah. They found a surviving victim in the shipping container. Is this what you were talking about?
Yeah, that's
Mekci,
who I
or is
was
that?
like, I'm not good with names.
I'm gonna have to. That's interesting. And
his
then give reviews. Oh my God.
God, what was his name? Well, the girls got it. The girls got it. Shauna and Dandy got it. His name is Todd.
Where is it?
His name's Todd Cole.
Oh, okay. Down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm so
that
far
guy.
up there.
That's who that is.
Oh my goodness. How long ago did this one happen?
Like 2015, 2016. But he had been going for a while. I think he got caught like 2016 or something.
And his name's Todd. Okay. Isn't this horrible? Like, look at all of us. We all have this interest. And yet, I mean, I know that most, like, our little crew here, we're usually doing this like 16, 18 hours a day at least. And then still there's a name that comes up that you're like, what?
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that?
Blifted is over here listing things you should never do.
I gotta get down.
Shave eyebrows, yes. Manicure, guys.
Oh, I'm so
shave the head. Just do Nair all over the body. I feel like that would be the best bet. You know, just
A,
get rid of
don't
all that.
take the phone. B, don't take the car. C, don't forget your sheath or unspent cartridges.
Or just
Damn.
don't do those things. Like
shave your eyebrows.
there's always a better solution, right? Like divorce. Leaving the situation, walking away, taking a breather. I don't know. Like I know that some of these things are unexplainable by just crazy people. Like
okay, I think I kind of remember this. Kind of,
6 people
sort
in
of.
the shop. Totally forgot that.
And Roy DeMeo, right? Same guy? Are you serious?
Yes, same guy. And he actually confessed to it like immediately. He was like, he just like blurted it out. And you're like, dude, if you never would have said anything,
yeah,
they never would have known. But he just admitted it. Like he just told them that he did it.
Unreal.
I guess while you're at it, right? You're gonna go to death anyway. Might as well just.
Well, you'd think.
Let them know.
So, Dandy, you know, the funny thing is yes, it actually, if you look at the last pictures, of Brian Kohlberger, he has trimmed his eyebrows. Yeah.
Was this like before his first, like during his extradition hearing, or was this after that?
It might have been the extradition hearing because there hasn't been, I don't think, other photos.
Because if it is before the extradition hearing that he did that, like, you know, manicured his eyebrows.
Yeah. Like,
if that doesn't point to you're guilty, I don't know what else does. I mean,
oh
come on.
my God. Did you find one? Like that he's looking all not.
No, Lifted knows all about it apparently. So
Oh,
they're more than welcome
that
to
is too
share.
funny. He did parry, though. This is what they're saying. Let me take a look now. I got to check it out. Okay. Oh, my goodness.
He died on too?
Let's see here.
Barry. Don't encourage Lifted. Don't do it.
Okay.
Do we have a before?
Okay.
and
I'm
after
just
picture?
going to use. Well, we'll hook on here, and then we'll just go through some of those pictures, and you guys can decide. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you see this picture here?
Yeah, they look bushy as all hell to me. You don't even have to enlarge the picture. I can see it from the little one.
You think that those ones in.
Okay, now go to the first picture of him where I think that one, the one in the blue, where he's in the blue with the collared shirt.
Yeah.
They look the same to me.
And let me see here. Am I just seeing what I want to see? Because I swear that they were like tidied up.
Well, go to the one where he's sitting next to his lawyer. Oh, you passed it.
Oh, did you see one?
Yeah.
La-di-da-da. the case of the shaved eyebrows.
Go down. Yeah, that one. Yeah, they look the same to me. Pretty bushy.
You don't think they're tidier
No.
than that?
No. They look the same.
Okay, you guys, what do you think?
Okay, yeah, exactly. It should be
Yeah,
like a
so then we
short
went
video
over
where
to
zoom in and out with like a pale picture, like with his eyebrows. I'm like, can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? It's him.
Right. We went over to Frankie Rose's think tank and we analyzed eyebrows for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Murder Machine. That's the book. Oh, really? Roy DeMeo. He sure. Yes. Okay. I was getting Roy DeMeo is a bad boy. I was thinking, I don't know which Roy I was thinking of, but he was another D. My brain's going to mush. Right after he took out the trash, he cleaned his car, busy boy cleaning things up. Right? I just think it's hilarious that the cops are sitting there watching him, and he comes out of mom and dad's house, doot, 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 and starts like creeping around the back, disposing of his garbage. It's like, oh, you're such not a good criminal.
He obviously knew, though, that he was being watched or already trailed or something, because if he thought he was in the clear, he wouldn't have really bothered doing all that.
Yeah, that's very true.
And that kind of also leads with the body cam footage from where he got pulled over in Indiana, where he looked terrified. Like, he looked terrified.
Oh, he did. And yeah, he actually did, Barry. She identified him by his eyebrows.
Mm. That's so. I know.
Eyebrow gate.
I know I said that I wasn't going to give Dylan a hard time. I know I had my initial feelings. I'm allowed that. I've apologized. But that's like another thing. Like, if people are saying that she saw him and maybe then went into like a certain mental state that it was impossible, right, to get anything out of her. How could she remember his description so clearly then? It didn't take her a very long time to actually give up the information of what he looked like.
Oh.
So, like, if you're scared, I would also assume that you block out all of it, right? Like, you just don't.
Well, one would think. Yeah.
Yeah, and she described his body type to pretty much a T. It's weird.
And how he was dressed.
How could she remember all that?
Like you said,
so
yeah.
Terrified and shook and catatonic or whatever was happening to her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
I don't know. I don't want to give her a hard time. My whole reasoning for questioning is because I want to know, like.
I know, right?
I want to know.
And no matter
why, like, but I'm
and
not.
no matter how you try to look at it, do you think that's what it is, Shauna? That she passed out? Yeah.
And that goes back to like me saying that I think that also the things that she was hearing. I mean, she was opening her door for a reason.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
she remembers how many. I don't know.
Yeah, like if you were you're in a party house, people come in and out, like you're used to noise, and someone says, "Hey, someone's here."
Yeah.
Would you really open your door to see who's there when you were already sleeping and you know it's not for you? Does that make sense? Like, she had said that she had already been sleeping, so why would you care if somebody was there if you know it's not for you? But there was something about that someone's here that was alarming to her that she opened the door.
Right.
So maybe all those things that she was hearing every time she opened her door were really alarming, and that's already starting her shock, her fear, that thing, because she obviously did lock the door as well after seeing the guy. I'm trying to find a reason. Like, I just want to know why. Like, why those things happen. It's just interesting for me. I like knowing why. I'm not trying to blame her. I'm not.
Absolutely not.
I just want to know what happened.
See, and what Perry's saying here, this kind of makes some good sense. I think Dylan probably believed there'd been a fight or an altercation, maybe involving Ethan and this guy, but the guy left. There's no more noise, and she didn't want to get involved.
Very possible as well, but if two adult men, one that you know and one that's a complete stranger to you because they're wearing a mask, and your idea is that they just got into a fight with the other male in the house, and you don't want to go ask questions because you don't want to get involved. But if you hear nothing, silence after that altercation, why the hell wouldn't you go look around and see and ask what's going on, since you had already heard all those other alarming things? Like, that's just me, like, thinking. I just
No, I mean, right?
What happened?
And Perry's right. Like, did she stay upstairs or did she go downstairs after this guy left? Had too much to drink, thought, what the hell, what's going on?
Yeah, but people tend to sober up pretty quick too. And that's, again, just throwing out devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
When you hear alarming things, but you get kind of sober. If something really crazy happens, you kind of tend to sober up. Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's baffling. Same as you. I mean, it's just kind of baffling. It's not something I've really heard of before. So it doesn't mean that she's not speaking her truth. It's just like, I've never heard of such a thing.
And I'm not trying to blame her. I'm not.
No, I know you're not.
I want to know, like, what the hell happened?
But, there's a good possibility that there is a lot more to it, and they just put what they had or what they needed to for that probable cause. There is a possibility that she has seen more and they're just not putting it out. I think Dandy said that. Yeah. She probably heard way more than what's being told. Gag order and minimum on PC.
And that would explain why
you
didn't hear anything from the roommates that whole time.
Yeah.
The cops knew what they knew the whole entire time, and they just told them, hide out, keep quiet, don't say anything.
Exactly. I hope this makes it to trial too, Dandy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that's actually, I don't mind talking, I would like to talk about. The fact that the neighbor's security camera picked up sounds, does that make you wonder just how loud that would have sounded in the house?
Yes.
Okay, but with that said, I just took my live down because, so is this security camera and it picking up the dog barking and that fight, and was that not debunked? Because I'll put my video back out there if
I heard that it was, but I mean, I don't.
So, good night, James. Thanks again for being here, friend. I am going to check out that book. So, yeah, we are missing something huge, Shauna. I agree. No, it's in the affidavit.
Well, the fact that they do have some audio from that night is in the affidavit. Yes. Is that the audio that's out right now? I have no idea. Regardless if it's real or not, like, I hear that I've heard that it's been debunked, and that actually that audio comes from like a TV thing. Again, weirdly enough, like the last audio. But it's hard to listen to.
Do we know?
And it sounds really real, and because it sounds real because it probably is real.
Disturbing.
And
it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. Yeah. Well, I'm curious as to whether or not that was actually picked up from that house.
Yeah, that specific audio. We know they have some, but that specific audio.
Yeah, because if that is what it sounded like from 50 feet, what did it sound like in that house? That's why I'm curious, because is it fake then? No. sorry, I mean the audio online is fake, but the fact, okay.
Yeah.
The dog
That's what I
in
say.
my-
Like, we know that the cops have audio. We just don't know if that's, but if it is
don't
fake,
know. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I've heard a lot that it is. It's just, but that audio is, it just hits a little bit too close to home because it sounds really like that could have been the scenario.
Yeah.
If not pretty darn close to it.
No, it's very disturbing.
Yeah.
It's
not cool.
very, very disturbing. So yeah, so I pulled that one. If anyone's ever wondering, didn't we do that? For sure. But yeah, I just it doesn't need to be up. A person doesn't know what it is, and you never know who's going to watch it. First off,
Yeah.
it is disturbing, and second off, if it's fake, well, I'm not much into fake news, so we'll leave that for Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Mm-hmm. So is there anything else you would like to talk about, Mekci?
Yeah, and I know that Mark's not here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He had mentioned
Oh, yes.
Johnson, Idaho, actually being Johnson, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't really thought about it like that. And like, I stared at a map for like ever, one night, and I was like, yeah, that really makes more sense because the probable cause doesn't talk about where he was after Albertsons, like at 106 when he
Mm-hmm.
left Albertsons. Like, they don't tell you that he went home and then he was tracked back home. They
Yeah.
don't tell you that he started traveling towards a certain direction. They just go from he left Albertsons to at 5:30 he was in Johnson, Idaho. But that's like
Mm-hmm.
way out there.
Right. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not excluding that he could have done that, so I'm going to keep it on the map. But
Mm-hmm.
Johnson, Washington is right on the border of Idaho and Washington, and it's in
It is. Yeah.
that like that little half circle that Brian did allegedly the night, like immediately after the murders.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah,
makes
it
sense
is part
that,
of that.
yeah, it's in there. It's in that little loop. So it would make sense that they would be talking about Johnson, Washington, and then his phone goes dark for like 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Johnson, Washington is closer to Moscow than Johnson, Idaho would be. So going dark for 3 hours, yes, maybe he was trying to locate evidence that he disposed of on the ride, right? Or maybe he took a trip to Moscow for 3 hours, because that would have been 5:30 to 8:30 would have been right around the time when media started catching hold of it, where there started being cameras, where things are starting to kind of like escalate, right? So, and then there's that white vehicle that passes by in the back on Wallenetta. It's caught on video.
Yep. Yeah.
When was that taken with that video? I'm really interested. Like, when was that taken and what time? Because if it's the 13th, anywhere between 5:30 and 8:30, it's probably Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. Person's going to have to look back as to when that came out, because it was pretty quick. That was one of the first things that came out. As far as that vehicle.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna try to find that video, like, and the exact, if that's even like, I know I can find the date possibly of when it was filmed, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to find it though and see what where that leads.
Yeah, see if a person can find the source. Like,
I just want to know the time, the exact time and date that particular thing was filmed. I understand that it might
Yep,
have been filmed
absolutely.
and then like published later. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely be another piece to this puzzle. The audio.
oh yeah, it would have
If
been
that audio
handy, like because it's in the protocol. Yeah, it would have been a huge problem.
Yeah, well
A lot
said.
of people getting fired.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was asking too, Perry. If I could see it happening. I could see it happening. It goes that direction often, doesn't it? And Mekci, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm sure they'll offer a plea deal for sure.
You do, yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be like life in prison regardless.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll take it. I think he'll actually take it to court. I think he's going to plead not guilty.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Most of these Bundy-ish type guys, they want to do their own defense. They want to, if they're going to do anything, they want to let little tiny bits. They don't generally, but then you look at someone like BTK and he's like, yep, you bet. Or the guy here in Canada, the pilot in the Air Force.
Oh God, that weirdo.
Yeah, he just, when they asked him, he's basically, yep. So,
and I'd like to add to like what I said. And this is how it stands now with what Brian and his attorneys know at this moment, or what we know, is he has what's in the probable cause. He has that much of evidence, right?
Right.
So at this point, he's probably like then he was probably just like, okay, play my cards. Like, this is what they have. They're going to do a preliminary trial. Prosecution has to show a little bit more of their evidence. So if the prosecution has more, and I hope they have more, like DNA, his blood, all of that, hair, skin under the fingernail.
Right. And let's hope. Because
once prosecution releases that evidence, because he will have access to it, he might change his mind. But as it stands right now, I think he's going to plead not guilty. And
yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how these cards start to fall into place, because I have no doubt that this creep is the right creep. And I don't think that there was anybody else with him in my mind. I think this was, I'm hearing that because Maddie was the first one attacked, and they're gauging that based on that sheath being left beside her. So I'm hearing a little bit that people are thinking that she was the one actually being stalked. And this is why he went straight up those stairs and into her room. Didn't go to Xana and Ethan, didn't go to, that they pretty much knew exactly where she was, and just went up and did that. And then basically it sounds like, if there's any truth to any of this stuff, that Kaylee basically came out of her room, which would be why I guess the dog is still in there, and started to bail. And that would probably be, in my mind, if any of this is truth, any of it, that would totally explain why things got possibly out of hand. I mean, all of a sudden you'd have people hearing this. You would have, I mean, they're saying the dog was barking, and stuff just may have turned sideways for him, all speculation. I mean, all a person can do is just, I'm looking forward. I think justice will be served. In this case, I think it'll be served in the Delphi case. I do think that Anna's husband's like up shit creek. And
Yeah, that one is a
yeah. And let's hope that oh my goodness, this little girl. Let's hope that she comes home. They find her safe and sound, maybe needing a hamburger at the worst.
yeah. Athena, guys, if you can share her missing poster.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll try and add it to her missing poster to my community board. And it's also in Discord. So let's see here. We'll go through this a little bit. And from what we know of him, he's surely been writing down his own thoughts and maybe even plans. Do you know what? I never thought about that, but I bet you're right, Perry. I'll bet you're right. I don't think he'll make it go to trial. Questions answered is a torturous power to exude over others. Well said, Dandy. I think he attacked Maddie and Kaylee first, then hid and waited 5 or 10 minutes before. Oh, I never thought about that. Before attacking Ethan and Xana. The silence in between attacks probably confused Dylan. Oh. Oh, Dandy. Okay, yes, and share that flyer. Oh my goodness. So I guess, guys, that is that for tonight. I'll be watching for these other cases as well. And Mekci, I'm sure you'll be doing the same. You're always on top of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Right? And thank you very much to the new mods.
Yeah.
And yay. And to everybody else, thank you for being here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.